Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing the 200 subscribers special, which, might I just say, is something I never thought I would be saying. 200 people watch my videos, which is crazy. That's crazy to think about. So I just want to say thank you guys so much for subscribing. It's amazing, and I love every single one of you guys. So back to what I was saying. I thought today I could do a video all about how I film, edit, and make my realistic roleplay videos. So I will be training in the background, but I will also have some videos on the screen to show you guys what I do, and where I click, and all that stuff. So without further ado, let's get this video going. So there are three main steps in how I make videos. First is the writing and script stage, which is what I was going to talk about first. When I get an idea for a video, I will put it on a Google Doc where I will write it out, add the detail of what shots I want, where I want the character to be, etc. I have my own key to what I write too, meaning if I make something bold, it means it's a voiceover or first-person lines. Slanted would be little notes on the setting, maybe the angle, or adding little details like how I want the horse to be facing. This just helps get the idea of what I want the video to look like when I finish it and when I'm editing, which just helps me get it in my head that this is gonna look good as a video. And if I get that feeling that it's not, then I'll rewrite it, redraft it, and when I'm finally satisfied with it, that is when I get on to filming. So for recording, what I use is the Quicktime Player app, and it comes already on my computer, so I don't need to download it. I do believe you can download it on your computer, but don't take my word for it, because I haven't tried. But first, I don't open the app since that just takes a long time, but what I do is the Shift-Command-5 shortcut, and this might change depending on your keyboard. So if you're recording with a Bluetooth keyboard, it might change the commands, but usually on a regular MacBook, it will be Shift-Command-5, and that will open a little pop-up with a record button. And you can adjust the size of what you're recording, if you want to record your whole screen, where the file will be stored after, and if you want your mic on or not. So when I'm all set up, I will start recording, and I go to settings and turn off the UI, or the user interface. I also turn on See Other Wild Horses, turn off player names, just so that it gets rid of the extra game things that I would usually have to edit out afterwards. So it saves me a lot of work. But then usually I try to film in order of the script just so I can keep everything in check, and that just helps me keep it a little bit more organized. When I film realistic roleplays, for example, I use a lot of different types of angles. So first, this is how I film without my character. So for like landscape angles, or I'll show you how I do this when I want to get like a second person angle kind of thing. So I just want to jump in here before I move on as editing me, to just explain what I mean by the different angles. A landscape angle looks like this, and a second person angle looks like this. A talking angle, which I will get to later, looks like this. First person, again, I will get to later, looks like this, and so on. They're all really self-explanatory, but I just want to make sure you guys understand what I'm trying to achieve with these settings, and just make sure there's no like mix-up, and yeah, so on we go. I'm honestly really glad SSO added a hide character mode, because it's super useful and I don't have to glitch anymore to hide my character, which is what basically every realistic roleplay person did just so they could get interesting landscape shots. So I will go into my settings and turn on the hide characters on all the three sections. So I hide my horse, hide when I'm off the horse, and hide when I'm mounted as well, just so that I'm hidden whenever and wherever I might be. So on the screen now is how it would look with the settings I've already talked about, and this is a good angle, but it can be a little bit better. This is just me being a little bit nitpicky, but to make it look just the teeniest bit more realistic, I would adjust the field of view bar so that it looks a little bit more like a camera. I don't know why, but it just looks more realistic to me, but I think that little detail just helps just the tiniest little bit, so you don't have to do it, but I would recommend it. So that is how I do the landscape angles. I only usually do static angles and not moving angles, as I find those really tricky to do, and they're really hard to get right because you're invisible and you don't know what you're going to crash into. But anyway, I will get into those a lot more when I talk about second person end rolls, but I thought I would get into how I do the talking end roll. So for talking end roll, there are 2 different ways I do those, and I use them depending on where I am in a video or what needs to happen in the scene, which basically means, do I need to run away in the scene, or do I just stand there until a fade to black? So we're going to start off with the first one, which is basically the easiest one. It's honestly one of the easiest scenes and like angles to do. First, I would dismount my horse on a decently flat surface. This just helps so that the character isn't at a strange angle when I'm filming. And then I will go into my settings and turn off player names. This, again, is just in case someone runs behind me when I don't want to see their player name. And then I will also turn on the hide horse. This one is completely optional. Then I will adjust the field of view, and again, this just helps to make it a lot more realistic, and it helps with the editing as well, so when I'm cropping the video, it won't be as fuzzy. And then I just turn off the UI, which then gives you this image, and this is if you're not wanting to use the chat emotes for talking, which is a lot harder and a lot more editing, so I don't recommend doing that, and I just recommend using this just because it also looks a lot more natural, since usually you don't talk with your hands constantly in the same motion. So that's the first way to do the talking angle, but the second way is a little bit more complicated, as you need either a second computer or a second device that has the game downloaded onto it. And now that we have the mobile Star Stable app, you can do it on a phone or iPad, and you need like 2 computers for it. So all you would do is log on to your main filming computer and log on to the second account on that computer. Then with your main account, log on to the second device so that you can see the main account on your filming screen. Then do all the settings on your filming screen for turning invisible and adjust the field of view and put the main account character into the center of the screen to film. This way, it's less laggy, and the main character can move around in the scene, and it's a little bit more dynamic. And I honestly really like this way, just because while I'm filming, like, in between second-person scenes, I can just quickly do this and then move on. And again, this is the quickest angle and scene to do. It is also a perfect way to bring us into the second person angle. So the second person angle is basically the same exact concept of what I just explained. You're just moving the main character around on a horse or on foot, and it just looks a lot more realistic than having the camera follow you like if you're just playing on your regular account. A lot of YouTubers use this, and a lot of YouTubers do it a different way, but since I don't have a second computer, I just use like a separate device, like my phone or my iPad. So all you need to do is place your alternate account, which is the one going to be on your filming screen, so like the computer screen, at a place for the main character, which is on your second alternate device, where they can move around and ride. And you would keep the same settings as the landscape angle, so the alternate account is invisible. And then you have a camera, and it looks really good, and it should look like this, which hopefully I put on the screen when I'm editing. So the final angle I use is the first person angle, which I feel is one of my favorites to watch, but my least favorites to do. Not because it's extremely complicated, it isn't, but the editing is. The editing is kind of complicated the way that I do it. So please tell me if you have a different way to do the first person angle. Just please tell me how to do that. Because I love the way it turns out, but it's so hard to do. So when I do my first person, I turn on the wild horse mode. I take off all my tack except for the bridle and the leg wraps, as sometimes they can be seen and it just keeps it a lot more realistic. Then I will adjust the field of view depending on what I'm doing. So if I am doing a cross-country first person, then I will make the field of view a lot larger. So I will make the horse smaller. You'll see it on the screen. But if I'm just doing a trotting hack kind of thing, where I'm just gonna walk, trot, canter, no jumping kind of thing, I'll just put the camera closer and I'll zoom in with the field of view. I also turn off the UI. I forgot to mention that, but then I will zoom in, especially for the cross-country one. I will zoom in during editing, just so I can be picky about what I want, where I want it zoomed in during the video, so it doesn't look like that when it's fully done. But I will show you guys that in the editing part. So for editing the videos, I use iMovie since it came free on my computer and it's really simple to use. I do believe you can get it online, and unlike other online editing like softwares, it has no watermarks, which is really nice. So I thought first I could talk about cropping and color correction. So when I film, usually my mouse is in the corner of the screen, so I have to crop it slightly to get that out of the way, which is a really simple fix and it's really easy to do. I also use the color correction for the videos as it adds just the tiniest bit of pop to the color of the scene, and it also helps with the atmosphere. So if it's going to be a sunnier day, it's going to be a bit brighter, there's going to be a bit more of a yellow hue, and then if it's supposed to be rainy or cloudy, it's going to be a bit of a blue hue, darker and less colorful. And I think this is just like the tiniest little detail just to help bring that video to the next level kind of thing. So the next thing that I do is I get my music. So I get all my music from Thematic, which is a website where all sorts of artists post their music, most of which is free. You can use this with or without a membership. I don't have a membership, since most of the music that I use anyway is free, and you're able to download it as long as you put the link in the description of your video, just so that it's not like you're taking ownership of the music. So it also has an amazing range of artists, and I get all of my music for videos, montages, all from there. And yeah, I definitely would recommend it. This is not an ad for it, but I definitely recommend it if you're looking for a place to get free music. So in my RRPs, I use a lot of montages, which is basically edited videos to music, and sometimes it can be photos. I don't like to use photos a lot, but whatever. So that's a really basic way of just how I edit montages. I will get the piece of the video that I want, and I'll cut out the extra stuff I don't need, and I'll then arrange it where I want it. And I like to do it so that it's like I do the warm-up with the horse first, and then I do what I'm actually doing kind of thing. And if it's a show, I'll do like the warm-up ring, then the show. And I like it where it goes to the beat of the music, just because I feel like that just makes it, I don't know, I find that a lot more satisfying. It's honestly really just about how you like your montages to be, like what you want in those montages, what kind of music you have. It's honestly just down to your editing style and your preference. And so if you're very new to YouTube and video editing, I definitely recommend just sort of playing around with it in videos, and just sort of getting an understanding of what you like and what people seem to like. And it's just sort of playing around with it, really. I know I'm moving very fast through this whole editing, but I feel like if you guys want me to show you how I edit montages fully, like do a full, like edit a video with me kind of thing, I will need to do a separate video for that. This video I feel like is just an overview of everything that I do kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, I also use voiceovers, and I have a microphone. I don't know where it's from. It was my dad's old like work headset for what he used for when he went to work, but now he has like a new one. I also have another regular mic. I don't even know where it's from. I got it from my grandparents' garage, and they let me keep it. So again, I have no idea where my mics are from. If I did, I would tell you guys, but they're really nice. In iMovie, you can edit the sound of your voice. So you can do like a filter on your voice, but I don't add that unless I'm like pretending I'm on a phone kind of thing. But I will go to like a little voice enhance almost, and I will choose take out background sound, just because I have a lot of background sound sometimes, and it just helps like keep the clarity of my voice. And then I will also choose loudness, which works a lot better for my headset than my actual microphone. And it works both ways, but I feel like it just makes it sound a little bit more realistic, instead of just, this is what it sounds like without it, this is what it sounds like with it. So thumbnails are my favorite things about videos because I love to decorate them a lot. I use Canva Pro for all of my thumbnails, and it's honestly really easy to use and really just get into it. Again, thumbnails are one of the things that it's like, you have to find what you like and what people seem to like. I had this phase where I would make it seem like it's photos on a corkboard, and then I would add like a title on it, or like photos on a table. Like you'll see examples on my channel. But recently I've been doing a different type of thumbnail, and so this is how I do those. So usually when I do videos, I will do like a little photo shoot either during or after, and I will get like photos that I might want to use for a thumbnail. And I decided that I might just reuse photos for this purpose from my latest video, which little plug here, but I'm using Trigger here, and I just wanted to measure the width of how large I wanted the photos, because I like to have the photos exactly the same if possible, which wasn't really possible. But anyway, I chose another photo. This one was of Ringo, and then I like to have like characters on the sides and then something else in the middle. So it'll be like something really random, like you'll see soon that it was like a lantern here. And so I will literally like size it and crop it down, and then this is the base, and this is going to be the background of the photo, of like the thumbnail. Then I will go in and I will choose the blur. I went with 10 at first, and then I decided to change it. So I'm like, I don't like how blurry it is. I want you guys to actually see what's happening, but I also don't want it to be so focused. So then I choose a title. I named it example title just because I didn't know what I wanted to name it. So then I will go and choose a different color for the title. Usually I will go with white, and then I will just add like a shadow under. It's called Lift in Canva. And then I choose a like font, and then I go in with the little details. You will see a lot of my photos have these little details. I just chose some stars just for examples, and I can change the color of the stars, and then I just chose a snowflake for no reason at all. And that's usually what my thumbnails have. That's usually what I use for them, and that's usually how I do them. It was very sped up. It takes me a long time to do thumbnails, just because, again, I'm a perfectionist and I want it to be really good. So yeah, and that's how I do thumbnails. So that is how I film, and I know it was a bit sped over in some parts, especially with the editing, but it's honestly just a whole process of just cropping, color correction, cutting videos, and putting them together. It's just repeating that over and over. Again, it's just a process, and if you guys would like to see that process in a video, I would love to show you guys. It's just something that honestly needs its own video because of how long it takes. But I hope you guys liked watching, and I hope this helped or gave you guys some tips. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!